Full reusable second stage of Stoke Space. Blue Origin cleared for launching NASA high-risk payloads. Lots of hardware in production at Starbase. Interview of VAST CEO. Firefly completes its brand new first stage structure. Launches of the week. I'm Christophe Paget from All About Space, and this is your Space Update. Andy Lapsa, CEO of Stoke Space, has been sharing footage of his Andromeda engine on his second stage, firing for a few seconds during a hot fire test. Andy called this test successful, so good progress is being made by Stoke Space on his second stage reusability. Their design has changed, and this stage sits further down than before because they intend to use hot staging to separate the stages to save valuable fuel and therefore increase range. Blue Origin New Glenn rocket has been given license from NASA to launch what is called Category 1 for high-risk payloads. Now, this is paving the way for a NASA payload called Escapade, standing for Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers, manufactured by Rocket Lab. It is a NASA mission to Mars that uses twin spacecraft to study the interaction between the solar wind and Mars's atmosphere to support Mars colonization. It was originally planned to launch on a New Glenn in October 2024, however the rocket was not ready for it and will now be launched in the spring of 2025. At Starbase launch site, progress is continuing on the launch mount and its tower number 2, pretty much as the previous weeks. At the production site, Booster 17's parts are coming off the Star Factory to start assembly in the Mega Bay. Starship 36 nose cone, attached to his payload bay, was rolled out of the Star Factory to start his assembly in the Mega Bay. You can see this ship has the catch pins for attempting to return to site to be caught by the Mechazilla arms. And Starship 35 assembly is also progressing quite well. Finally, SpaceX received the approval for the wastewater permit from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. I mention this because this was an issue 4 months ago where SpaceX received a hefty fine of $150,000 for not having the right permit for its launch mount number 1 deluge system and was threatened to stop operation until then. Vast Space is a new player in the field of space station with only 4 years incorporation under his belt and therefore missed the round of NASA funding for his commercial low Earth orbit development program, a program dedicated to replace the aging ISS. Now, I have shown in previous episodes the progress made by VAST on his Haven 1 with the prototype structure completed and also tested at his Mojave test facility. The NASA spaceflight team has visited VAST in his facility in California and interviewed his CEO Max Out. And here is the summary of the findings. The company is quickly expanding its workforce, working on many concepts, increasing its manufacturing capability and completing its clean room for the Haven 1 and Haven 2 modules, along with the control room to pilot the module once in space. Now, Max was pointing out that to attract NASA funding, they decided that Haven 1 should be a short demonstrator and quickly make it fly to demonstrate its capability to get support for his Haven 2. For that reason, they have chosen to pick a launch vehicle, a Falcon 9, and fit the module around the fairing shape, hence why the module diameter is 3.8 meters and that one end of the Haven 1 is seriously tapered to maximize the space inside the fairing. To save weight and costs, VAST is using aluminium structure for its module, using 2 thin layers to protect it against space debris. Each module is autonomous, including its own thrusters, so no need for arms to assemble the station, and also does not require constant astronaut presence to operate the station. They will use SpaceX to transport their modules into space and bring cargo and crew to and from it. Finally, VAST has the ambition to use SpaceX Starship to bring to space larger modules 7 meters in diameter. VAST is planning its Haven 1 maiden flight in May 2025 at the earliest. Northrop Grumman has lost the ability to produce its Antares 200 series rocket, which brought the Cygnus cargo resupply spacecraft to the ISS, because parts of the rocket were made by Russian or Ukrainian companies no longer able to deliver. Firefly Aerospace came to the rescue and started building in 2022 the Antares 300 series, also called by Firefly the Medium Launch Vehicle or MLV. Firefly has shown its cutting-edge automation manufacturing tools for its MLV. This week, they have completed their liquid oxygen and kerosene tanks. Firefly anticipates a maiden flight of its MLV first stage with a Northrop Grumman second stage in the second half of 2025. Good to see progress made. February 15th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida for its Starlink mission Group 12-8. The first stage flew for its 26th time, another reusability record, and landed on a drone ship. February 18th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 from Florida for its Starlink mission Group 10-12. The first stage flew for its 16th time and landed on a drone ship. On the same day, Rocket Lab launched an Electron from New Zealand for its mission Fasten Your Space Belts with its first Black Sky Generation 3 satellite. In summary, from January 1st until February 20th, 2025, 34 rockets were launched successfully. Out of that, 24 were from an American company or institution. I leave you this week with footage of the far side of the moon taken last Tuesday by the moon lander Blue Ghost from Firefly Aerospace. Now, the lander was in an elliptical lunar orbit at 120 km altitude, giving the latest view of that amazing moon in preparation for a landing on March 2nd. Thank you for watching your channel All About Space. See you at the next episode of Space News.